What's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Bizzy Breas. Welcome to Bizzy Breas Hot Topics. Today is our 1 year anniversary.
Yes.
yes. Let's toast to that.
Whoa, let me get mine.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Cheers.
1 year.
1 year.
1 year. So today is Valentine's Day, February 14th. That is the day that we officially aired live, I believe. Yeah. So I want to also do a special shout out to Marte.
Yes.
And Jose, who
Absolutely.
are in charge of the Heat 97.3 FM. Also, I want to do an appreciation. Thank you guys to all of our loyal listeners and our new listeners that we're picking up on the show as well. We thank you. We're on several platforms. And we also want to shout out Jeff Spates, who we're going to be airing on March 1st.
Okay.
Just a Thought Network online radio platform.
So can you tell everyone about that platform? Because I'm not familiar with it.
So it's new. It's actually brand new. They're just starting, and they reached out to us. They heard our show on some, a few others, and so they have basically they're playing jazz. Sundays they play gospel.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all I know really right now.
Okay.
But we will be airing March 1st. So
Yes, praise God.
exciting. So all right, you guys. Of course, February is also known for Black History Month. Regardless of those who want to take it away, it's not going away. We're still going to celebrate it, and we don't need permission from anybody.
Right.
Forever, ever. So we're going to continue to celebrate Black history because there would be no American history without Black history.
Amen.
Do we all agree?
I agree.
Yes. Okay. So right now I want to introduce and say thank you, Lovie D. She's always been a part of the show, and she's going to continue to be a part of the show. So Lovie D, let the people hear you.
Whoop, it's still your girl Lovie D, new cut, same attitude.
All right.
Okay.
And then we got our girl Jen for real 100.
Still Jen, you wanna holla?
And we have Yvette Arellano, or used to be Hernandez, and she was also interviewed previously on the show. Say what's up, Yvette.
Hello, everybody.
We want to hear it in Spanish.
Yes.
Hola, ¿cómo
Yes.
están?
Muy caliente. All right, you guys, we're gonna get right into it because this is gonna be our, 1 year anniversary show, and we're not holding back. So first of all, I want to talk about all these crazy plane crashes that are going on. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about them, but your girl's taking a trip soon, and I'm sorry, I can't live in fear. I'm still taking my trip,
No, we gotta.
Yes, you should.
and if it's my time to go,
It's
No,
your
girl.
But what do you guys think about this? I'll just start with Yvette right now. What do you think about these plane crashes, and what are your
It's
thoughts?
mysterious. It's mysterious, and it's strange. I mean, to me, there's something going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jen.
I'm the same with Yvette. It's strange. I think there is something going on. Not sure because for them to going back to back to back to back to back. Plane crashes are really rare.
Yeah.
People say that they're the most safest way to travel, that there are more car wrecks than plane wrecks. So this is very unusual and odd and strange.
Yeah.
And scary at the same time. I was supposed to go to Mexico. Valentine's Day weekend, so it got canceled because we had some scheduling conflicts, so it got rescheduled. So I'm kind of glad it got rescheduled because I'm kind of scared to get on the airplane right now. But I'm but like you said, I got God in mind. God got me. If it's my time, it's my time. I know it's not my time. God, it ain't my time. It's okay. JC, you ain't trying to see me right now, are you? Okay. I ain't trying to see you right now either.
Right. But it's not going to stop you,
basically.
basically.
That's right. It's not going to stop me. I'm not going to live in fear.
Okay. Hey, Lovey?
I mean, for me, I think there may be some things going on, but I think it's all man-made that's going on with it. Honestly, I don't know so much, and of course, God has a hand in everything, as I know we're all, God lovers. But I think a lot of it is propaganda.
Okay.
And again, I don't think it's for us not to fly because airlines make so much money. I do think it's man-made that's causing these issues, and I don't think it's man-made. And I think it's intentional.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's man-made intentional.
Okay. So I agree. I think it is intentional, and I think it's meant to keep people here and not to go, because as you know, our leader can't go everywhere. right now because of the felonies. So I believe that that is the case. And I don't know if every single situation is, but I don't know too, there's another situation where 10 people on a small plane over Alaska or in Alaska disappeared recently.
Oh my goodness. I
So
didn't
I
know
guys
that.
heard about that?
I
Mhm.
didn't hear about that.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But, okay, so now we're gonna kind of move on. Thank you ladies for sharing your perspective and being transparent on that. There are people in several states, and I'm hearing it's in all states, but I can't confirm, but I did hear that several people across the US are protesting at the state's capitals, all over the United States, against DT and Elon Musk for several reasons. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, because we're not seeing it, because our media is being censored right now.
Yes,
It is, obviously, because I haven't seen it.
I've seen it on X or Twitter. I still call it Twitter. I'm stuck on the X. It's Twitter.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because I can't get with that. My mom lives in Michigan, so she lives in Lansing, and there were people protesting in Lansing. Also, some of the restaurants have been shut down due to the ICE situation as well.
Yes.
And then I know people who live, I have a lot of family in different states, and all Colorado's huge. There's in Denver, they're protesting as well.
Okay.
So it's happening all over the place.
is.
And so, I just think it's interesting that, there was a situation when DT was in charge the first time, and there was the whole situation, that happened. And then now people aren't doing anything bad, but they're just saying, hey, this isn't right with, what's going on.
Yeah.
They're saying that there's a,
We're back here again. I can't believe, and it's worse than it was before. I just can't. I wake up every day and can't believe that we're back.
But again, I'm not a Bible thumper, but God is in control. I mean, and when you have to,
Cause I don't see it.
when you follow the prophecies, I mean, a lot of things from biblical, like I said, I was raised, Kojic Pentecostal, so I'm not a Bible thumper though. But when you look at the signs of the times that they say, it had to happen. So it wasn't that the people actually chose him. It had to happen.
that's right.
It has come to fruition.
Yeah.
So, me either, I never thought he would be back in office.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I kind of almost knew he would be, as much as I hated to admit it, because certain things have to happen because it's already been spoken and
Yeah.
it has to come to pass.
That's right.
He has a part to play.
I believe so.
You do?
He has a
I
part
think
to
so.
play.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back. I haven't posted anything on my Facebook, because usually I'm in there saying something.
Yeah.
But this time I said, I'm gonna stay quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it all play
Let it
out.
all play out.
Because none of us really like to do the whole political talk, because we all have such different views
Mhm.
on so many things. But this is why I'm glad Bree is talking about, because at the time we are in right now, that as much as we don't want to talk about it, we almost have to talk about it.
We do.
And I
Because
guess
it affects us.
Thank you, Lovey and Jen. I did not want to talk about it. But then I started doing my research for the hot topics, and I'm like, everything goes back to this actually. And I was like, wow. And it happened so quickly. With all these executive decisions.
I'm gonna be honest, it really did.
The inauguration has not even been a month yet.
That's what I
He
mean.
started to
All
pass.
these executive decisions, but I will say this, shout out to the federal judges, because they've been blocking a lot of
I
these
love
executive
it.
decisions
Love it.
with the Department of Education,
I
right?
love it,
So
yeah.
they gonna write off my student loan.
That's the only thing they.
I don't, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it has
Shut down
anything to do with
public
that. It
education,
has
but
everything.
you won't
Yep.
shut down, like, can you cancel those?
Do you guys remember before before he ran, he said he loves the uneducated.
Of course he do, but those are his followers.
So again, now they want to get rid of the Department of Education. That affects almost everything,
Right.
as far as, with the HBCUs and with some of us have children right now in college that affects that with student loans. And, I have a daughter that's in elementary school,
Yeah.
and, not everybody can homeschool or knows how to
Right.
homeschool.
Right.
Although since the pandemic, there's more resources available,
Yeah, but every areas don't have charter schools.
right?
But listen, guys, it's all a TikTok.
Mm.
It's like, take it away for a day, it's coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be on the,
I like
I gave it to you,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
that's all it's gonna be.
You made
Yeah.
that's a very valid
It
point.
can't go away, it's just like, it's gone, but now it's back.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta thank this
said-
person for
because
giving it back to us,
I
because I have
agree.
excuses to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid point. event that you just made. It is a, like you said, a TikTok moment.
That makes sense. Now, we're not living, now the crazy thing is, just imagine our grandparents living through the Jim Crow era. And even before that, it was much worse than this.
Right.
So we can handle it, you guys.
Ours is actually worse because we have social media. And
That's
it's
true, too.
more across the board to where
That's true too.
some of the things they were shielded from, even though it was bad, I would not want to live in those times. But even now, it's like you still living in modern day slavery along with social media.
That's exactly right.
So it's kind of like we do have it bad. We ain't getting whipped across the back. We're whipped, but we getting whipped across the back.
Yeah.
Just in other ways.
Mentally and emotionally.
And
And
other ways, we're
emotionally
still
and
getting whipped across the back.
systematically.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Systematic slavery.
Yes. And now a lot of people are also saying that with all these executive orders, it's meant to disarm us so that we're just so confused. What do you guys think about that?
Well, it's not confusing me, it's confusing his followers that are uneducated.
I don't think it's about confusion, it's about fear.
Yeah.
It's about putting the fear there that you're scared and everyone's doesn't know what's coming up next. And you know, God said, "Don't be afraid."
That's
So
right.
many
Not the
times
spirit of fear.
He said it. So I'm not. I refuse to be scared,
Yeah.
and I know that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
That's all I can
Okay.
do anyway. So
I love it.
Okay. Well, we're gonna switch it up just a little bit. Recent, I don't know if you guys heard, but recently Irv Gotti of Murder Inc. passed.
I was so shocked.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
goodness.
He's credited to helping, Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti. He is a producer and rap mogul. He was 54 when he passed.
I said, that's my age. So
Mhm.
I guess, yeah,
He helped shape, the 90s hip hop. Like,
Yeah.
he was really a part of that.
yeah.
And
He was,
I
I
believe
didn't know he was a part of Rockefeller together
Yes.
with Jay-Z.
Yes.
What's the other man name? Damon Dash. Yeah.
Damon Dash.
He was part of them coming together and collabing with Rockefeller. So I was like, wow.
Now they said he had some complications due to diabetes and eventually passed.
And I heard he had 2 strokes.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
A
you
stroke,
know,
previous
money
stroke.
don't always save you because your grade gonna be the same size as mine.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
So basically, we do have to take care of ourselves. We got to take care of our health. I mean, after you hit between 40 and 50, time is, TikTok, you get ticking away. Like, you got to stay busy.
And you gotta drink red wine.
And red wine does, and red wine doesn't help.
And
Red wine helps you.
I don't know, guys. I don't know about you, but I've noticed a lot of people are dying, even younger people. We've gotten 2 notifications at our jobs that people have passed away. And I feel, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I always feel like the people that got the COVID shot keep getting these aneurysms,
Oh, yeah.
heart attacks, these breathing issues.
Respiratory.
Respiratory.
Oh boy, Yvette's taking us there, you guys.
I'm sorry to say it, but I
No.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but my thing is, I've seen the pattern.
I've seen it.
I've seen the pattern happen, so it's like, it's some truth in it.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of athletes that were passing and having these issues with their heart, young children.
And that's because there's a disease called myocarditis,
Mhm.
and I have a friend whose son was in that category and he died of it. It's an inflammation of the heart that happened when you got the 2nd shot. And the
Second
CDC
shot.
talked about it, so I want nobody to say it's conspiracy theory, but the CDC did mention it. And that it wasn't happening between African American males between the ages of like 25 and 30. He was 32, but after that 2nd shot,
That
within
second
days
shot.
of that 2nd shot, it creates the inflammation of the heart.
Mm.
And a lot of people are saved, but he was not, unfortunately. It went on for a while. He ignored the symptoms,
Mm.
and so he was in a coma for a couple of weeks, and then he unfortunately did pass.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I worked for a company, can't say their name, but I was adamant I was not taking the shot, and I worked for them.
Yeah.
I worked for them, and then I was offered a job, and it was mandatory to take the shot, and I did turn down a job.
Good for you. Good for you. You got to stand for something, or you fall for everything. Really,
Working for them.
Dang, and you know
I
that the
told-
president's now paying all those soldiers that didn't take the shot and got fired? I was telling my son-in-law, I said, boy, if you would have not taken it, you would have gotten a little paycheck right now.
Because now they're proving that the shot really didn't really do a lot. Like,
Oh yeah,
was-
people were getting
Because I
COVID
know
after
people
that.
that had the shots, 1st, 2nd shot, a couple of boosters, and I've had COVID only once. I didn't get COVID until 4 years after COVID, 3 or 4 years after COVID started. And I know my friends have taken all those shots and boosters. They had COVID 3 or 4 times.
I would suggest at this moment we switch gears because the more conversation we have, this show is going to get pulled from the air.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think so.
we'll change
Yes,
it, but you
you're
know,
right. You're right.
nothing's usually off topic, but yeah, I think Lovey's right. So we will just also go ahead and say that, you know, if you're over, anybody should, but if you're over 40, please be sure, even if it's every day, it seems small, walk every day if you can, or every other day. Do some type of exercise, especially if you have an office job, like I believe most of us do, and you're just kind of sitting there in front of the computer screen. It is affecting your eyes. You got to give your eyes a break. It does cause stress. Eat a little bit of, you know, substitute some healthy foods in there.
Plenty of water.
And plenty of water. But you guys, we do.
And mind your business.
And your P's and Q's. And your P's and Q's. All right, you guys, we gotta take a quick break. We are on a roll, of course, as I know we would with my girls. But we will be right back. All right, you guys, and we are back. Oh my God, we're having such a good time with my girls, Lovey, Jen, and Yvette. All right, you guys, so we're gonna move on and kind of just do a recap of some of the interviews. I want to find out what your guys' favorite interviews were or favorite shows. So I want to say shout out to Bunny DeBars. That was an awesome show. Shout out to DJ Hershey, Christopher King, of course. We have Yvette, when at the time it was Yvette Hernandez. Cheryl Guyant, Christy Lovely, and several others. What was one of your favorite interviews or shows, Lovey?
I don't think I had just one favorite. I can't say that I had just one favorite, but I would say one that I was involved in directly. I know you did several by yourself, but if I had to say one that I was involved in, I would have to say probably Cheryl's.
Okay, and why Cheryl's?
It was so real life. I mean, I'm a true crime documentary type person, and so to sit down with someone that actually lived through that and had a relative, it was like I felt like I was directing my own true crime documentary at the time, to sit down and talk to her, because you know I do film. So to sit down with her and just get her story about her mom and get that true feel. I feel like I was there, but it just made me feel like I was sitting in a true crime documentary at that time, and she was just so open and transparent about what happened and how it made her feel and what she went through. Some people don't want to know the truth about what happened and what their parent or loved one may have been doing that put them in a situation, maybe even.
They don't want to be vulnerable.
That's exactly. And I felt she was very vulnerable in her interview.
You need to read the book. Because
I
I
read part of what you had, but you know,
it's so much better.
I'm a documentary person,
Yeah.
So I love just sitting down and watching. And of course, I know everybody says books are always better than the movies. But just sitting down with her on stage, hers was if I had to choose a favorite, was my favorite.
And I think she was brave because, you know, coming from the hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we grew up, I went to high school with her. When I saw her story a little bit and I didn't see anybody really talking about it, I'm like, hello, wake up, people. This is a great story. Like, why isn't anybody covering this? I immediately reached out to Cheryl and I said, I want to get your story. And she actually shared with me that someone saw the interview, a family member, and a cousin or something like that, and reached out to her. And so we did that, Lovey, so I love helping people just through that process. Devon Cooper was also a very.
I didn't want to be biased. I mean, you know, Devon's my boy. I didn't want to be biased. It's Devon. I mean, I love working with Devon. So
that was a great one as well. For me, of course, I'm just gonna say Bunny DeBars.
You know, you was gonna say Bunny DeBars,
and I'm gonna tell you why. I come from a family of music. I come from a huge family of music, and Bunny DeBars and the DeBarge family was huge in Michigan. They were our Jacksons, our Michael Jackson, our Jackson family.
I love L.
So that was really just something I never even thought I would do. It was just amazing just to meet her. And she's such a sweet person. She is a woman of God. She is on a mission, you guys. And her story is amazing. I'm still waiting for them to one day come out with a true documentary, or at least of her and what she went through. Because people are really resilient in what they go through. And she screams resilience. Okay. Jen?
Well, I'm gonna be a little biased. Mine's Christopher King. Because I know Christopher personally and, but just hearing his story, because I didn't know everything about him. And, you know, he's the grandson of the late BB King.
Shout out.
And so, and just hearing the things that he went through when he was, he got into some trouble with the law, and that his sentence was to go on tour with his grandfather.
Mm.
And then the things that he saw going on tour, being a stylist, and he wasn't, now he's a humanitarian, and just, you know, reading his story and seeing firsthand his work that he does in Tampa, you know, that we went to the sneaker ball
Yes.
together.
Oh my God, so much
We
fun.
agreed and loved
Ready
it.
for
Went to
the
the
one this
sneaker ball.
year.
Yes,
Yes.
went to the sneaker ball, and then just to see what a difference he's making in the Tampa community and all over the world. He is just such an amazing young man to me, and to be that young and to just be so in touch with trying to make the youth better for our future.
I love it. I enjoyed the event, and I just want to thank you, Jen, for bringing him to the show. You know, there's certain people that you meet that change your just perspective in life, and just to know that he was out here speaking about the underbelly of the world and what they're going through with human trafficking is so powerful. And I hate that our news doesn't cover it much.
Oh, well, girl, they just happened, the news just happened.
Hmm.
It was on the news today. They've been cracking down on massage parlors.
Oh,
Those massage parlors,
more
what
happy
they
endings.
found, so, you know what, love?
No more happy endings.
we can't be serious and save our life.
What happened?
Lord.
But it was two women that they found when they raided this massage parlor, it was two women that said that they were trafficked here in Atlanta.
Oh,
And that when it closed down, massage parlor closed out at night, they slept there. Their only belongings they had was in their one little suitcase that they had. That they didn't know where they were coming, can't remember where they were trafficked from, but they say they didn't know where they were going, where they're coming to. But they were forced to work at this massage parlor until they left the massage
Oh
parlor.
my God.
And they raided it, and they said that they raided about 30 of those massage
Was
parlors.
that here in Atlanta?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was on the news this morning.
So, you know, a lot of times when you go to these places, you think someone is a willing participant because you don't see a gun to their head or you don't see but you don't know what they're being threatened with.
Yeah.
You know, we'll come and do this to your family exactly. So you think that this is just what they do and you try not to judge, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what human trafficking looks like.
Yeah.
Yvette, I know that you didn't do many, but
I like mine, I like that
Oh,
glass
that's
half
nice.
full one, you know.
yeah,
Because I was in it.
yeah.
Like Donald Trump.
Hey, Yvette, you're fired.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump, you're
Shout out
fired.
Donald Trump.
You're fired.
I like them all.
I'm
I
signing an executive order for her.
So
She liked them all.
why did you?
For herself.
I know. I remember that. That was a great show. I wish Lovie could have been available for that show.
I'm probably
because we
somewhere
had-
tricking off.
Why did you like that show so much?
Because of the glass half full, you know, conversations that we were having,
Mhm.
and they were so good.
Yeah. People don't really think about that. You know, there are two. So anyway, the glass half empty, glass half full idea is really people's personalities. We're all glass half full,
Yes.
but there's a lot of people in the world that are glass
I'm 3/4
half
full.
empty. Can you pull us something else too?
Okay.
Yeah, your glass.
That 1/4. That 1/4 is something else.
Yeah, but we talked about how, you know, some people just, they see it full and some people see it empty.
Yeah, and it's
And I
really,
like that.
and I don't want to be so simplistic to say it's a negative versus positive personality. But some people, you know, can just keep getting back up until they make it, you know, and it's like a lot of us go through things that no one would ever know. Like you would look at us, you know, we got our makeup on and we're all polished, but a lot of us have been through some things, okay? Either in our childhood or, you know, somebody hating on you or taking away a promotion or something. And these are things that people really go through in life, but they don't let that stop them. And so that's the whole, you know, glass half empty,
Yeah.
glass half full thing.
And Yvette,
Mhm.
because that was your favorite and
Mhm.
you were part of it,
Mhm.
what is one takeaway that you want someone to take away from your interview? Something that you want someone to know for your interview?
I wanted them to know that, you know, they can make it too.
Mm.
You know, that this country provides us the freedom to do that. And right now our freedoms are, you know, being crushed.
Mm.
But I feel that that's what I want to take away. Just just do your thing and always see that glass full, don't see it empty.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. And you've been through a lot too. Like so you failed to mention the interview we did on you, and I want you to know that interview really inspired a lot of people. We had some people called in, and people had mentioned how much they appreciated your story. And when we originally interviewed you,
Yeah.
because you have done so many phenomenal things, and women take on a lot. You know, from the household to outside the household to being told you just need to stay in the house and
You
have
kitchen in the
babies.
bedroom, Florida, the kitchen
You
in the
guys
bedroom.
you can't give up, you know, you can't give up.
Mhm.
You can't give up. Bree, you know, I haven't made it in anything that I've tried. I've done so many things, but I haven't made it there yet.
Mm.
And here I am, 55 years old, and I'm still working
Never too
because
late.
I'm not gonna give up. 'Cause
And
I refuse to.
I like that
Too
because
late.
yes, I feel like I've failed more than I've won,
Right.
and that's okay.
It's not really a failure if you
Right.
learn something from it.
That's true.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you keep trying.
Learn,
It's
right.
not a
So
failure
what's the
until you
failure?
learn.
Exactly.
That's right,
Absolutely.
Jen.
Yeah.
But the feeling is still there because you're
Yeah.
like, man, I put all this time and effort into
Yeah.
this group of people or this group, this situation or whatever it is. And you're like, it didn't work out how I wanted it to work. And Lovey's right. It's not supposed to necessarily. Maybe this was just a lesson
Right.
for you to get to the next step.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on all day about all
Right.
the
But
the
I-
How many pilots have we done that haven't taken off, you know, that were
Exactly.
good, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
And,
meant. It
and
wasn't
here,
meant.
and here we are a year later with Bizzy Breas still.
Oh, it's
on
more
the
than a year.
air, people.
It's
We're
several
doing
years.
good.
It's more than just a year later. We've known each other for a lot longer than you guys realize.
Yeah.
It's been several years,
Yeah.
and we've
Right.
probably
With a couple other shows.
yes,
Really?
that had great potential. By the way, I want to say
Okay, right?
all the projects I feel like we've ever been a part of all had great potential.
I really
Right.
like that last one that we were in with the others.
Mhm.
I really to this day, and I mean, I know others may feel some kind of way about me or us. At the end of the day, I want to say if you're watching, your show had amazing potential if you could just got out of your own way.
Absolutely.
Because so many people kept coming back saying, when is season 2? So many people kept asking, what about this girl? What about that girl? When are y'all coming back? But again, so many of us cannot get out of our own way enough to succeed.
And if you look right now on like Tubi and some of these others, there are shows out there that I feel like don't even compare to the show we were a part
Oh,
of.
they do not.
I mean,
Not at
I'm
all.
like, this was a perfect show. But again, if you're not the driving force behind it, you can't do anything about it. All you can do is control how you feel and move on.
Yeah.
But you have to, again, as I said when your comment, it wasn't a failure. It was a lesson. We learned some things from it. It made us stronger. It made us understand people more. And it brought us to this moment here.
Absolutely.
So-
One thing I will say that I feel like I learned is that a lot of people want the success, but they don't necessarily want to put in the work.
Mhm.
They want the instant gratification. And sometimes when you get instant gratification, that's as quickly as it will
don't last.
fall away as well.
Right,
Because you guys, because it'll go away. Because again, people don't want to put in the work.
right.
And I will say too, you know, we do live in a town where everybody wants to flaunt and act like they have it all, and you know they got the best car, the best
That
house.
social media life. I don't want your real life. Give me your social media life.
Do you?
That social media life got it going on.
So they say.
But you know, some of it is true. A lot of people say, well, that's all fake. It's not. If
Yeah,
you're-
some of
you're-
it is true.
Look, you're at the beach, you're at the beach.
Right.
You're having some fun.
Or you edited a beach scene.
That part.
True, I'm sorry.
That part. With all the say hi, I could be in Dubai
Okay,
tomorrow.
I'm in Paris. Look, hold on. Okay, the Eiffel
But
Tower
people
needs,
must say-
the Eiffel Tower needs to be right here.
Right.
Wait a minute.
And you have to be waving. So, but all this AI going on today, you can be anywhere you want to be within an hour.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Like I'm going to Morocco in a few minutes.
Did you guys know that there's even been celebrities that have been caught lying about, you know, being on a private plane?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, things like, I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah. I know some people who know him, sorry. She said it, not me, but he did. I mean, he really did. And there was a fan that was like, wait a minute, we're sitting in the same section of the plane.
Like, it ain't right. I don't see that right. No, you got one. You're good at
All right, you
Christmas
guys got
programs.
me. I wanted just to.
We know you want
want to believe.
No, no, no.
That's
No, I'm a believer.
I'm a believer.
some people are really living that life, but I really feel like the people who are really living that life aren't so quick to want to flaunt it. Because
Thank
you
you.
have to protect.
Wealth whispers, rich talk too much.
Yeah, they're not always gonna have on, I know some people who are millionaires and they don't have any designers.
Right.
They don't ever say when they're going on vacation, they're living quietly
go.
because they have to protect themselves because you can become a target the more you have.
Well, one thing I've learned is not to post when I'm there.
Mhm.
I post
Oh,
after.
yeah,
I
yeah,
learned that.
You better.
Post when I get back.
I do know some situations
You're
where
right.
people were posting,
Mhm.
you know, showing, a lot of people like to show off stuff, right? So this,
Right.
I'm not gonna say who it is, a couple.
Of course you are.
You always say
Is
that.
that
Yeah,
person
yeah.
here?
And then you tell us after
Look, the
that.
person in the room. Then the room with us.
Jen,
Uh-oh.
I told you, I said, yeah, then you tell us after that.
Well, I just know some people.
Uh-huh.
It's actually a really sad story. They were posting, they were really excited. They had this house, beautiful home, and they had bought each other like these expensive gifts. They're showing everybody. Well, they were really wild. They were wild and attacked.
Yeah.
And this really happened. It was on the news and everything. And I know these people personally. So again, you have to, at the end of the day, kind of like protect yourself and your peace. And it's nice to, it's inspiring. You know, I feel like you do inspire people when they know you're living a good life.
Yeah.
But you still have to have that boundary. You have to have, don't you agree?
But yeah, and that's the thing, because I think we've all at some point been an inspiration. But again, it's also comes to understanding of putting out your information.
Right.
You know, when you know that you having different parties at your house every other week and people got your address and now I'm gonna post them out of town in another whole country for 10 days, well, your house is free range.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that comes with trusting who you have in your home and having, you wanna have a big circle
Mhm.
and you bring in big circles into your personal life, you're making yourself a target.
Vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah, you're making yourself
You're making
open.
yourself a target.
That's exactly
So,
right.
like even with my personal life right now, like Bree asked me earlier when I told her something, she's like, who, huh, what? I was like, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovie knows what to do.
Yeah.
I do at this point because I wasn't previously.
Yeah. She's
So,
learned.
I've learned. So I was gonna say, I don't wanna say it was a mistake, I learned.
Yeah. And I respect that. And I
So
think
when
that's-
you make choices and decisions, if you learn something from them, I don't call them mistakes. That's what I tell my children. It's not a mistake if you learn something, but if you did learn something, it was a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
All right, you guys. Well, we are having a great conversation on Bizzy Breas Hot Topics, the reunion show.
Yeah.
And yeah, we gotta take a break and we will be right back. All right, you guys, and we are back from break. We've been talking about all things this whole past year of Bizzy Breas Hot Topics. We have a lot of fun on the show. And again, we just want to thank all the listeners. We really appreciate you guys because, you know, there's a lot out there of distractions and we know we only have a short time to grab your attention. So we appreciate you tuning in. All right, so we just got done talking about how people like to fake it until they make it or just fake it, period, and they don't make it, and that's what it is. So we want to also, again, recognize that this is, February is Black History Month, away, and who tries to make it not important. It's important. It is a part of American history, okay? So, speaking of Black History Month, Target.
Target.
They ain't get my dollars no more.
So, anyways, for those who don't know, or Target, Target recently rolled back their DEI program. Now, you guys, I really hate this. I really feel like, especially Black and Spanish women love Target. We go in there, we get our groceries, our clothes, our jewelry,
Lingerie,
toiletries.
Makeup.
that
Like-
They have an
yes.
Ulta in there.
Like Target, I don't know who decided that this was a good idea. Do you guys know how much we just Target? Like we can just spend Saturday at Target, okay? And we spend a lot of money. And apparently that was proven to be true because there was a boycott. Yes. Once you announced, for whatever reason, you thought it would be a great idea to announce that you were no longer going to be participating in your DEI program. I don't know why you thought that'd be a good idea. But
And
anyway,
all your Black creators or Black manufactured Black products off.
That's
the
what I was getting
shelf.
ready to say. They
And you
did
thought
that
we
as
was
well.
gonna still go up in there and shop with y'all.
Yeah.
I
No.
went there because that's where I
That's
can
exactly
find
right.
the most Black products.
Honey
at.
pot. I
When it
definitely go and get my
comes
honey
to-
pot.
When it comes to a major retailer, that's where I know I can go in there and find the most products that were made and owned by
That's
Black
right.
and Hispanic.
that's exactly right. Now, I don't know whose idea it was. I really want to just see the face of the person that said,
Well,
this is a
thing
great
about
idea.
Shareholders are soon to do it.
You know,
Yes.
You know,
Thank you.
I'm kind of sad because we're having to boycott a lot of these places, being that I'm here. And, you know, we love Coke, we love all these other products,
Mhm.
and it's like we have to prove a point.
Yes,
You have to-
but
You gotta
listen,
stand for
they
something.
lost millions of dollars.
They should have lost billions.
Their stocks went so down. Look, let me tell you something. All I can say is Costco is reaping.
I promise you I'm about to cancel my Sam's card.
Oh, girl, Sam's is.
Costco is saying, are we winning?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys go to Costco, but I've always had a Costco membership, and I never saw Costco so busy this last couple of weeks. And I saw a whole bunch of people in wheelchairs. I saw a whole bunch of disabled people in Costco that I never saw.
Cause that's
And
what
I did not
DEI
mind.
about. People
Yes.
think that DI is
It's
just
only
about
black.
black people, Hispanic people, Latino people.
Yes.
It's not about that. It's about
Mhm.
disabled people.
Yes.
It's about people that would not have given it a chance
Mhm.
if it wasn't for the government forcing people to include people. And then it's not including just because you're handicapped, just because you're black, just because you're Hispanic. You have to say you have better credentials
Mhm.
than the white counterpart, but they had to be forced to give you a job based on your merits.
Yeah,
So it wasn't because you were black, you had the better merits
yeah,
against the white person, but they were hired a white person just because they were white.
yeah.
So okay, make it an even playing field, hire the best candidate.
It's basically once affirmative action went away and DEI, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, right? Once DEI came into play, you guys did so well. You know, your advertising was for other minorities and disabled veterans, women, okay? And now you guys really FAFO because you found out that you can't say we're getting rid of our DEI programs, but feel free to spend your money here. No, that's not how it works.
But you have to still think back too, what that late '90s or early 2000s when you had the Tommy Hilfiger that said, spoke out, I don't want black
He was
people
on
wearing
Oprah. He said
my-
that on Oprah show.
my clothing.
Well,
That
people
they
stopped
were
wearing it, and
But,
yeah,
but a lot of us didn't because that
I
was the
did.
look.
I did.
That was the look. No,
I
I
did.
Tommy Hilfiger. I mean, you had people like Aaliyah and all those other
Mhm.
big name rappers and artists who were still rocking Tommy Hilfiger, even
That's
though he
true.
came out with the
Good
blue
point.
and the rock
He
over
said
there.
it. I did not.
There's
believe
always
it.
gonna
But
be
you
people
still
who
had
don't.
those who still felt the need of, I'm
That's
gonna
right.
buy what I want to buy.
There's always gonna be people who don't come together.
Follow the line.
They don't come together to understand, you know, I'm still gonna go, I'm sure, you know, and some people made the argument, they live in smaller towns, and so
That's how they
Walmart's also in trouble because Walmart's been feeling the pain as well.
Yes.
And sometimes Walmart is the only place, if you're in a small town, that you can go shop and get the things you wanna get.
And
But you know the
Dollar
sad
General
part?
too.
I was
That's
gonna
right.
say the sad part about it. I was gonna say,
Dollar General, and that's a lot
Dollar
of
General,
small towns.
aren't they like Dollar General, Dollar Tree, like umbrella under Walmart?
I believe so, but I'm not sure.
It's okay.
Because, you know, a lot of people don't be knowing when they boycotting one thing, they still support it because they go into another subsidiary
Aldi,
of that company.
Yeah,
That's right.
Aldi too.
Aldi, they were silent about it though. They didn't announce it, but they were still silent about it. They
Yeah.
took it off their
Oh.
website and everything, yeah. So I guess the point is they felt the pain, so now they're rolling it back.
Mm,
So
no,
what was the
too bad.
purpose of them,
I'm about
putting it out there?
I never knew. I'm like,
I'm
that
about
was
the founder's website.
that was silly to me. Why would you announce it during these times, during tension and what's going on in today's
It's a
times?
lot of
It's
hate.
crazy.
It's a lot of hate. I don't like these. Why? We're all human beings. We live on the planet Earth. What makes you think that you own any part of this place?
So I will tell you guys, it was a beautiful thing when I went to Costco last weekend. And the membership line was so
Out the
long, it
door.
was through the roof. It was way down there. I was like, go Costco, go. And I think they're also investing in apartments right now, which I just heard as well. Costco. So shout out to Costco. We're gonna keep our membership rolling.
Got my membership.
All right, you guys, now we gotta talk about Coca-Cola.
They
We
wrong.
were
yeah.
just talking about
They
that.
was
No,
dirty.
my husband's Mexican.
Wrong.
I think
So I'm gonna let
Coca-Cola.
I'm gonna let
he
Yvette.
loves
So
Coke.
Yvette, what do you know about the Coca-Cola situation? I know your community is really livid right now with
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Like, you know what? I did not hear the news about that.
Okay,
The only thing I know is that there is something out there saying don't do
Okay, I'm gonna
Coke.
tell you
So
what I-
my husband's like, he loves Coke. I mean,
Yes.
he'll have a Coke all the time. And he's
The
like,
cup in
ah,
Mexico
he
is
goes,
there.
we know, we gotta go Pepsi.
You gotta go Pepsi.
So, this is what was,
water.
this was what was called and what was in the news. It was that, people from Coke were calling ICE on their workers.
Oh,
And
They
this
had
is
a
what-
meeting.
Okay, you know more, so you go ahead.
Yeah, they had a meeting and it was
You know, she's
predominantly.
Jen for real 100. She has, she already has.
She sure does.
But no, they had a meeting and it was predominantly, Mexicans and Hispanics in there. And they called ICE on that meeting.
Oh
So
my
they
goodness.
set them up. It was like, they
Oh,
put them in a rat trap.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I mean, I heard that
Oh, but
they.
did you hear that Walmart did it too? Now that
No,
heard.
I did not.
I heard that Walmart allowed a bunch of people into the Walmart, then they shut the doors.
Are they getting money for calling?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I bet they get some kind of kickback. I bet you they all get all the
Because you gonna put
on.
your workers under the bus.
Right,
My thing is not who doing those jobs.
right.
The one, like you said, that's uneducated, they bringing them in, so we can now hire you at $4.25 an hour.
No one's gonna wanna work for that.
Well, I mean, you know.
And that's the thing about Trump. You already know, like, come on.
Okay, you guys, so
They
the farmers,
ain't that dumb.
the farmers are now FAFOing because they're, and a lot of them voted.
For those
For
who
their
don't know,
demise.
for those who don't know, explain to the listeners, viewers what FAFO is.
Right.
Oh.
So this is also gonna be a radio, so I can't exactly
Yeah.
say the first part. But and find out, so F and find out.
Find out,
I can't say the first part.
F around.
F around and
Find
find out.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, so basically what it means is that several people voted, they thought was in their best interest to turn out to not be in their best interest. So,
So yeah, the question was,
Mhm.
you know, or the question is, how many people that voted for Trump are now feeling it? That's what we want.
A lot of people.
And I know a few people who have,
uh-oh,
you know, and they're scared. Oh, my paycheck is gonna be affected.
Social Security is also
Social
being affected
Security,
too.
the
My
person
section,
the
they-
person that I know
shut
that
up.
voted for him, you know, I said, oh, your paycheck might be
Mhm.
affected. My
My
job is
Medicaid
being
is
affected. I work for housing.
I
So
work
we're
for
calling out
housing.
and saying, oh, we're sitting and waiting now for this, for them to have the, you know,
And you've been working in that industry for
18 years,
almost
18
20 years.
almost years. And so, yeah, we're afraid because we wanted to house another 10,000 people this year, and I'm not.
So for the audience, tell the audience a little bit about what you do for the housing authority.
I'm a housing inspector. I just
Mhm.
inspect the homes and make sure that their HUD, you know, the HUD qualifications are there, so we can get the funding so that they can still live there and live, you know, within their means because they can't afford housing.
Mhm.
It's like Section 8.
So affordable housing
Okay.
is what we
Yeah.
provide
Okay.
for the people. And so we're all scared, you know, the phone calls were coming through the roof
Oh,
when
wow.
he announced
So
that he was
sad.
gonna shut it all down, so we had to, you know, make a public announcement. You know, don't worry about it, it's stopped for now, you know, it's going into the courts and then we'll figure out what's gonna happen.
Wow.
Even the workers were all just like up in the air right now.
Oh, wow.
So
It's
people's
such
stability
scary
is
times
being
to live in.
shaken.
Yes.
People's stability is being shaken right now in America, you guys. And other countries are looking at us and
They're laughing at us.
Well, they're laughing at us and some are not. Some are actually, they feel bad for us.
And some of them are following. There's a country that wants to be just like Trump. Oh, you can't rid of your immigrants, I'm gonna get rid of mine too.
Here's the thing, you can't, do you know how much immigrants bring to the country?
We know.
Immigrants build America.
But the one thing, and I know we don't have a lot of
Immigrants
time,
build America.
the one thing that gets me is the focus on certain immigrants. There's so many immigrants from other countries, whether it be Poland, Germany, Russia,
And they're only
Vietnam,
focusing
Cambodia.
on
There are
Mexico.
so many other immigrants and illegals, as they like to call them, that are
Donald
here in this
Trump, the
country.
AKA
You're only
wig,
focused
his
on
wife.
one demographic.
Well, the Hispanics, yeah. And
You
then
know,
most
all
people
of one
Mexican,
demographic.
most people
Yeah.
Mexican.
He's only focused on that one
Yeah,
demographic.
because that's the only
no.
border that he wants to.
You guys, it's the old playbook, right? Divide and conquer. You
Yeah.
can't, they're getting what they want through dividing and conquering.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of people are effing around and finding out that it's more than just that. They're canceling the Meals on Wheels program, or trying to anyways. I know people who have suffered with having those vouchers for after school programs. The Department of Education now, they talked about it. Now, a lot of people said Project 2025 did not exist because he said
Trump said, I don't know nothing about it, it don't
Yeah.
exist.
his
And
name
now
was
it's
mentioned
coming
over
to
50
fruition.
times.
It's
Yeah.
coming to fruition. I don't know why people believe that he had nothing to do with it, or
I
he
wanna-
didn't know anything about it.
Jen, I want to say he's literally
He
doing everything he said he was gonna do.
Thank you. That's the thing about it. He tells what he's gonna do.
He's
Yeah.
never been secretive. That's the one thing, if
But
I
long
have to
as
say I like
all
something
of us
about
didn't
him,
know.
he speaks his mind, he don't give a
Cause
F
you know what you're
who
gonna get.
it hurts, he
You
speaks
know what
his
you're gonna
mind.
get.
It's up to you if you take him serious and if you listen
Right.
and take heed. Cause he's telling you what I'm gonna do.
Well, a lot of people thought that this was just a game.
A lot of his
they're
followers
about to
thought
find
that,
out.
oh, it wasn't for us, it's just for y'all. Now they find out they're affected too, now they're mad.
Silly
Yeah.
games win silly
Because
prizes.
guess what? A lot
Jokes
of the
on you.
landlords that own those homes, the
Yeah,
paychecks are
Jokes
gone.
on you.
Yeah.
Now
And
they
you know
got
what?
Where's your
those
paycheck?
They had a quota of like 15, I think that he wanted to ramp up the quota of 1,500 immigrants. There's not even, here's the thing, you can't find that many criminals in the immigrant community anyways, so it's like
Listen,
you're,
the scary part is he's gonna call them all criminals.
I know,
And that's what
Because
it is.
you
He's
went over
calling
the
all
border
criminals.
and you broke the law, so now
Yeah.
you're a criminal, so
Yeah.
that's the scary part.
yeah.
And
And then there's
law-abiding citizens that even pay taxes.
And then there's other things that are happening, like people pretending to be ICE. There's all of those situations that just popped up as well. So anyways, you guys, we are coming to the end of our show. There's so much more to talk about, so we'll be back on again soon. I just want to thank you ladies for taking your time today to talk to us with our 1-year anniversary of Bizzy Breas Hot Topics. But we got to take a quick break. All right, you guys, we are back. Thank you so much for joining Bizzy Breas Hot Topics. As always, be good, be great. Never procrastinate as long as you realize your true and authentic potential. This is your girl, Bizzy Breas.
And your girl, Lovie D.
Your girl Jen Ferrer 100.
And Yvette, who's joined the group.
Hey, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining the show.
Hi.